the NLA say they will generate 31 million cedis royalties from Nigeria and Cote d'Ivoire this year from the use of Ghana's Loto platform for the drawing of raffles in the two countries. Now, I didn't know this. Nigeria, so apparently Nigeria has been using Ghana's Loto draw numbers for free for over 25 years and will, after engagement with the management of the NLA, pay 80 million cedis. While Cote d'Ivoire will pay 30 million to the authority. So it looks like Ghana is classified to Nigeria, not just football, but also Loto. So the amount, so basically, Nigeria and Cote d'Ivoire have been using our platform for Loto, and they have not been paying. So we are told that they will pay through KGL, a digital Loto marketing company, which operates Loto on behalf of the NLA, as the two countries will draw Ghana's games online. Now, DG of NLA, Sammi Awuku, disclosed yesterday when he took his turn at the Ministers Meet the Press. He was organized the Minister of Information for state agencies to interact with the public. So for us in the media, it's like Sammi Awuku has gone to NLA. NLA didn't even make news because Sammi Awuku has gone there. No, Charlie, today all the papers, Charlie, newspapers that don't even talk about Loto. They are talking about Loto. It's even on the front page. I mean, go for a look at it. NLA Loto. You know,
because Sammi is a friend of Bernard.
No, you know the funny thing.
Charlie, the whole of last week, Sammi was on the front page.
I don't even understand. There are some.
I don't know what happened. Sorry, on the front page.
There are some subjects that shouldn't even be discussed in front page, but you alone, you put Loto on the front page.
Maybe because of the revenue bit.
So how important is NLA to government revenue? We didn't know it was such a big institution in terms of the revenue portfolio of the country. We did it.
Bernard, good morning. Good morning to your cherished listeners. And, great to be back here.
Yes.
That's the Theatre of Dreams. Citi. With all the squad here. It's always refreshing to be with you.
Wonderful.
Guys. Well, first of all, the NLA, the Act 722, established by the people of Ghana and the Ghanaian government in 2006 to operate National Lotto, to regulate, to supervise, conduct, and manage National Lotto and provide for related matters. But our core mandate is also to raise revenue. If you scan across the world, the World Lottery Association projects that the member bodies raise a total of $92 billion to support good causes across the world.
Globally.
And then again, we continue to contribute in diverse ways. The entire Olympic Games, hosted by the United Kingdom some time past, 2012, was funded 100% through the process of lottery.
Really?
Yes, and that's a Camelot.
Okay.
In 2022 alone, Camelot, 2021, Camelot raised a total of £9 billion for the UK government. Even with that, they lost their bid for renewal.
Wow.
Somebody could bid higher.
Wow.
The Great Wall of China, the city of Miami, and all that were built purely from the process of lottery. So over the world, over the years and across the world, people have used it to develop. And the interesting aspect is that here in Ghana, when NLA was established in 1962 by the Maltese government, this was after a visit by then Finance Minister Gbedema and a team. It was on a trade mission. And whilst there, they realized that the people were conducting a scheme that was raising revenue for the Maltese government. Asajifo, Dr. Kwame Nkrumah then asked the Maltese government to assist Ghana in establishing it. They then sent a Maltese official named William Francis Brennan. So when you hear Brennan Hall was named after the first Director General of the NLA, who was a Maltese. And the Maltese government funded his stay in Ghana with the taxpayers' money from Malta. His conditions of service, his entitlement was purely funded by the Maltese people. And his task was to set up the Department of National Lotteries, which has metamorphosed into the National Lottery Authority. Since then, we've gone through various phases. NLA has seen its real good days, and just as in the course of life and history, you always go through some down moments, up moment. That notwithstanding, has been an authority that has been a vehicle of mobilizing revenue for the state.
So can we say your focus now is still the revenue? Because you said that based on the law, the other things you do, you organize games
based
and
on
things.
the law, and then the Act as well, Section Section 23 of the National Lotto Act 206 also stipulates that as part of our operations, we need to conduct a national lotto specifically to provide care and protection for the physically or mentally afflicted, the needy, the aged, orphans, and destitute children. And then that feeds into the Good Causes Foundation. So it is not surprising that you see the NLA collaborating with Citi FM in the month of March for the Heritage Caravan, which basically showcases Ghana, the food, the music, the culture of the people, and also touring some sites that many people didn't even know existed. When the NLA hosted the African Lottery Association seminar on responsible gaming in December last year, which tied in with the NLA at 60 Grand Eba in December. We brought global leaders, and for the first time, the president of the World Lottery Association, Madame Rebecca Paul, also visited Sub-Sahara, together with the General Secretary of the World Lottery Body, Madame Lynn Reuter, who is Canadian, together with officials from the European Lottery, the World Lottery, and the African Lottery leadership. You know, we had over 100 guests. We took the opportunity to also showcase Ghana. We visited these World Heritage sites of the Cape Coast Castle, the Mina Castle, unwinding in parts of Accra and elsewhere. So basically, what Citi FM was doing in the month of March, we share the same view, because under our Good Causes Foundation, we have 4 main pillars of arts and culture, education, youth and sports development, health. So
it looks like the law tells you where you should spend the proceeds.
Exactly.
It's not as if you pay the money to consolidated fund.
We do.
But then there's also, so you have to put some to consolidated.
So basically, the profit that NLA is supposed to take as profit, basically, at the end of the day, after paying what we're supposed to pay into the consolidated fund, we need to also support government vision and goals. For instance, last year, we supported the Youth Start program with 10 million cedis. The NLA is doing same this year. Then again, the NLA has also partnered government and other agencies with the sole aim of also providing care, supporting the afflicted, the orphans, the destitute, and all that.
So it's almost like the surplus after you pay what you are enjoying to do is what you use for the good causes.
Yes, but the good causes as well. We also link it to our Caritas platform. The Caritas platform is basically a Latin word that's care, charity, love. So that is our interface with corporate Ghana. So when you hear or when you watch adverts and they say this is regulated by the National Lottery Authority
through the Caritas platform,
that's the meaning.
So when a bank is doing like a draw, they're
rewarding their customers.
So this platform is certified by you.
Yes. If the NLA
and do they pay for it?
Yes, they do.
So it's one of the ways you raise revenue in addition to the
states. That's why it states that as part of our operation, we need to conduct a special lottery.
All right.
With the sole aim of raising revenue to support the mentally and the physically afflicted, that. So whatever we get from the Caritas, NLA is not supposed to take a dime, but push it into good causes.
So there are many revenue streams, of which Caritas is one. I see. But your main will be the games.
The games.
So when you say games, what do you mean?
The most popular game in the Sub-Sahara is the 5 of 90. That's the 5 balls drawn out of 90, which has been Ghana's game since 1962. In which we have operated for over 60 years. In fact, Ghana taught Nigeria lottery, Ghana taught Ivory Coast lottery, and across. Wow. So when the Ghanaians were migrating from Accra or wherever to Abidjan, they took our lotto. So if you get to Abidjan or Ivory Coast, they call it Loto Ghanaian.
Oh, you mean the main lotto stickers in the system? Ghana, you've exported lotto stickers from your place too.
And then if you go to Nigeria, they call it Ghana Lotto.
Serious?
And the Nigerians have played our game for over 26 years.
When you say they play our game, i.e., even though they live in Nigeria,
they watch the draw.
And they participate.
And they use the winning numbers to pay the wins there.
Also, but that's a different group doing the payment, not you guys.
Not us.
Okay.
So they pirate the number in simple terms. And that is what's happening, within the West African coast. Because of the draw integrity process of the Ghanaian game, the board and the NLA Act also stipulates the composition of the draw team. The Director General is supposed to chair the draw panel. Then you have a rep from the Chief Justice or the Judiciary. So every draw is certified by the judiciary, and that's of the Ministry of Finance. So you will have a rep from the Ministry of Finance, a judge, and the Director General, or his representative.
So this is serious
and that
scrutiny.
has been it. And so they have to also take all the boxes, make sure that we are not running even on electricity.
So that when the light goes off, the thing will be affected. So you need generator.
So you need to also ensure that there are no mobile phones in the hall. You need to ensure that blah, blah. So they take all the boxes and make sure that the balls also weigh within a certain range, because gravity, when one is heavy, it can also drop. So the Ghana Standards Authority periodically also
come and weigh your balls.
Also weigh the balls to also set.
So this integrity is what has led.
What you see on TV is just a subset of the entire drop.
So you're saying that the people who stake, they trust that the numbers are genuine and the thing cannot be rigged.
Even with that, people still have that misconception that there are some hidden numbers that maybe the officials or the Director General gets to see. So you get some of these, but that's even with the transparency of the process.
So let me just ask you. So when I drive in Accra and I see somebody who has written on this kiosk, Abin Soko, see me. What is it? What is it? Right? Abin Soko, see me. No. What is he saying?
The interesting aspect is that for us, it's a game of chance.
Okay.
But for some of these people, it's a game of skill.
Okay.
And also with digitalization, it's not just the channels of operation and the medium of playing. It's both in the kiosk and on the point of sale terminals, and also on the mobile phone. So from the comfort of your homes, you can also play. And you also have our traditional players who are also still used to walking to their trusted retailer that have these numbers in mind.
So these numbers that he said Abino, he has worked them.
Yeah. And that's what I'm saying. For them, it's a game of skill, but for us, it's a game of chance. And you cannot also fault them for dreaming and believing that these are the numbers that they think.
Because it serves your interest, because they are the people who are your food soldiers. They retail them, make it popular.
We do not
by giving the taxi drivers hope.
We do not sell directly to the public.
Okay.
We deal with our loto marketing companies, and down the stream they also have their writers and retailers.
I get it. So the 590 is the most popular game.
It's the most popular, and it's played every day of the week.
But when I was young, Sunday, they used to announce the lotto numbers on GBC.
Yes.
At 5:59 or something.
Yeah,
with a song.
Now we change them. WWE.
Yeah. So
it's the Lotto Doctor not.
Yes. Why have you changed that thing?
Oh, which one have we changed?
It used to be on
the
GBC.
draw on TV.
The TV. And David Donta will come and say 1, 2.
Well, we've had a good engagement with GTV in the past. We also gave another opportunity to a TV station.
Okay, so it's happening.
It's happening.
What time does it happen?
It's live on UTV every evening.
At what time?
7:15.
They still count 1.
So that is an interesting one. You know, that draw machine that you see there is 26 years old.
Wow.
Yes, making it the oldest draw machine currently being used, across the world.
So the same machine that David Donta used to count is still the same machine.
But now the World Lottery Association has tasked the NLA to change its machines to conform with the new standards. So the NLA, by the end of this month, will be saying goodbye to this old godmother machine.
We have to send to the National Museum.
So we are renovating a museum to keep the first appointment letter of Brennan, our first Director General, which the Maltese government handed over to us in November, and also the very act that the Maltese House of Representatives passed in Malta to set up the Department of National Lotteries.
Very interesting.
Brought us all these.
A few points. So we are talking with Sammi Awuku, who is the DG of the NLA, and they've been doing a lot of things. Yesterday, they spent their time at the Minister of Information Meet the Press, where he revealed that they are going to collect money from the Nigerians and Ivorians because they've been using our system for years and not been paying. So you've actually... So have you written to them? Have you met them?
So when I became DG, together with a team of management members, we pursued the Nigerians and the Ivorians that this game that we've developed, they seem to be beneficiaries of it. And after back and forth, in fact, my predecessor started the engagement. Some way, somehow, they didn't
conclude.
So we kept pressing on. There were some few issues the Nigerians raised, lack of mistrust, and the mode, the format, and how they can also be supporting. After several engagements and with tact and diplomacy, with the support of our ministry and the board of the NLA, we got the Nigerian government to also come to terms with reality. And as part of the deal, we were also to assist them to develop a national game.
Okay.
So last year, sometime July, I think the 12th of July, I was there to launch their own game for them.
Oh, you launched Nigeria's own game
for them.
Wow.
At a ceremony in Abuja for them. So now they have one. But the problem is they've been used to the Ghanaian one. And the Nigerian situation is one of trust.
They trust the Ghana system more.
People,
they don't trust
their own players. Don't really trust the process.
They know themselves.
So, because sometimes they say that the numbers are announced are done. You don't know how the numbers, but for the Ghanaian one, they're able to see it on
same
TV.
time.
And the Nigerians also said that since we cannot bring our point of sale terminals there, they'll only be willing to collaborate with us through our online partner. So both countries inspected the IT infrastructure of the online partner. And then the Nigerians also got a partner to also partner the online partner here.
Which means within a sub-region, we are the most advanced loto market. Because of what the Maltese did and the fact that NLA is colder than...
if you're talking about history, yes. But now people have moved on. For instance, the Ivorians make $1.7 million a day through lottery.
And how much do we get?
NLA is around $60,000-$70,000 a day, even though we thought
far behind.
The Nigerians make about $3.2 million a day.
And we don't even make 100,000.
So that's why I'm aggressive in trying to also raise revenue.
So based on what your plan, do you have a target, say by end of year?
I do. So when with the Nigerian one, if I can conclude, we're able to finally secure the deal with them, and we tasked the KJO to collect our proceeds. Since the Nigerians have come to the table after all the negotiations, they had to pay 18 million cedis to us for the first year, for it to be reviewed from next year. And then to the Ivorians, they are also in a position to also pay us royalties to the NLA, 13 million cedis for the year. This will also be reviewed next year. When we came in, our online partner, KGL, is paying NLA 25 million cedis a year as our online partner. I'm happy to inform you that together with the board and management, we've renegotiated a deal for the KGL to be paying 65 million cedis this year. And then if you add that of the proceeds of Nigeria and Ivory Coast, they are paying the NLA 92 million cedis this year.
Okay, let me backtrack. So you've said a lot about what you're doing. I just wanted to first check. Probably the first question I should have asked was, when you accepted the position of NLA CEO, what did you think you were getting into? Because I'm not sure you were into Lotto that much.
No, I don't play. And then again, the NLA management and staff are not expected to participate in the games. Why? Because
conflict of interest.
Conflict of interest. Even though you may not know the numbers, if anybody sees you playing, they would think these are going to be the winning numbers for today. But my first day walking into the premises of the NLA, I was clear in my mind. I wasn't there for the politics, but I was there to raise revenue. And my very first statement to them that I'm here to make new friends, and I want you to partner me to raise revenue. And it's a place that can be toxic in terms of the political dynamics there. You are judged based not on the content of what you do, but judged based under which regime you were employed. So you also had...
It's been a politicized place.
Yes. You also had low staff morale and the mistrust between management and the staff. So it was a very tough journey. But I think the opening statement of my early days gave a clear direction of what I wanted to do. And I was very clear to them at my first staff day that I don't want to pretend I'm neutral when it comes to the politics of our country. I've been a party's deputy communications director. I've been youth leader of a party. I've been national organizer of a party. However, For the 8 a.m. to 5 p.m., I'm here to talk revenue. If after 5 p.m. you want to carry the biggest umbrella to the NDC headquarters, you are good to go. Or you want to carry the biggest elephant, I will direct you where we need to meet at Asylum Down. So the honesty and the transparency from day one. And I also told them, all those sitting on the flanks, that they said you were NDC or CPP, PNC or DES, or you feel sidelined, and give you an opportunity to work. But then you need to deliver. And then again, for my folks who are the MPP guys in there, I told them that enormous responsibility will be on your shoulders because you have your government to make it proud. So, and I've been very open.
And how has it been? How long have you been there?
18 months, but it's been an interesting journey. And I also set out to also rebuild the image of the NLA and put it on the global map again. The NLA had been kicked out of the African lottery body for non-payment dues and not conforming to standards and ethics and all that. But in February 2022, we're readmitted into the ALA after several visits to the LONASI, that's the Ivorian lottery body. Why? Because the Ivorian lottery head is the head of the African Lottery Association. So we leverage on the relationship and they readmitted us. In fact, one of our best DGs, Colonel BP, he's still alive. And again, the NLA, we've had many military men becoming DGs than civilians. So up to date, you still have military presence on premises because you also run the VAG game, that's the Veterans Administration Ghana. And Colonel BP had been ALA president before, head of the Continental Lottery Body. So after getting NLA readmitted in, we also needed to repair that gap between the NLA and the World Lottery Association. So we worked hard at it, and in Vancouver last year, we got the World Lottery leadership to also accept an invitation from the NLA.
Which is why you hosted
the ALA seminar in the NLA at 60. So it was great. Having over 100 guests from 20 countries across the world, for me, was a good one.
So in terms of the government agencies, usually we do this state ownership report. Ministry of Finance calls a lot of them. Many of them are not making profit. If you take the NLA,
we also still...
You are not yet making a profit.
Yeah, but... at least we stabilized, which is key. And also the blocking the revenue leakages was continues to be one of the... Is
there leakage through the agents or through the... How does that...
I think it's a mafia, both internal and external. Currently, we have a staff in custody who had been assisting people in liquidating wins. And this staff normally mischievously... every day is an expiry date for a ticket. So sometime last year, I realized an unusual trend where going through a very voluminous document and list, you could see that you can have Akoto, but the ID, 123 Ghana card, and the name Akoto will be there, and the telephone number will be there. Then the same telephone number, the same Ghana card, let's say number 123, but it will be Bernard. Then you have the same number, the same Ghana card number, and then you have Richard. I thought this was unusual. So we sought the help of the National Signals Bureau. And to be very honest,
undercover investigation.
They had to spend 3 weeks in some remote parts of the country before they were able to apprehend.
So it's a whole syndicate.
It's a syndicate, just internal and external. That's what I'm saying. It's a mafia.
So when you say they liquidate wins, I mean they illegally make payments available to people who are not deserving.
Yes, exactly. So in the conduct of lottery, let's say 1,000 people play today, and 200 win. There's no way that all these 200 people will be able to liquidate their wins, because when a ticket is soiled, it will be rejected. When it is torn, it will be rejected. Some will misplace their ticket. Some will even pass on to glory.
So they will not be able to all, but for some reason somebody is able to liquidate.
It's a system where every day
all the wins are being liquidated.
Dies, no ticket gets soiled. No ticket gets
100% efficiency.
So I felt that this was unusual.
Yes.
When I complained to the World Lottery Body and the African Lottery Body, they asked me to dig deeper. And so, in trying to prove further, I saw the assistance of the spy agents and the spy agency, and they've been helpful. And so, the docket has been sent to the AG for advice.
In terms of your own political trajectory, managing an institution, how many people are there now?
About 590.
It's a large company.
It is, and
and it's national.
Yes, it's presence in about 15 markets and 10 regions.
So when you have a staff there by annual year, it's a huge event. If you have to,
because as those outside will join us via Zoom, but even those are the headquarters are around 300.
Okay.
So just a simple question, if Sammi can just help with that. Which is Loto really popular in Ghana now, like it used to be, and which region leads the party?
Greater Accra obviously leads, followed by Eastern, then Ashanti, then Western.
Oh, I thought the Volta region did well in Loto.
No, it's because you traveled there last week and saw some Loto tiers.
Let me ask my question.
You also do have lots of illegals. Last year alone, the World Lottery Body estimates that the member bodies lost a total of $1.3 trillion to illegal operators.
Hey.
Operating without the regulator.
Without the regulator. And in Ghana, you have an estimate of about 500 illegal operators.
Are you serious?
Yeah.
Wait, so an illegal operator so set up a Loto system.
Somebody who has not been licensed set up a system in these are small communities.
And he's selling Loto tickets.
They pirate the NLS number. And then they write in the books. So they do not use the point of sale terminals. And the unfortunate thing
how are they able to pay the people though?
So that's what I'm saying. So today because you won't always win. So Godfred will play, you will play, I will play, Richard will play. That's some amount in the pot. And then if maybe one gets to win, they can pay off.
Because they've collected a lot of post money.
Exactly.
So they are running their own private Loto scheme.
That's the whole point.
But use your numbers.
And then when there's a big win, they close down and they leave the area. So and we keep advising the public that stop dealing with these illegals because for them, the day that you have a big win...
But how will the public know who's legal and who's illegal?
Well, we keep educating them. We keep conducting swoop. But sometimes we are naturally born stubborn.
But don't you have a list of... Isn't there a place you can go where I can see...
We publish them. In fact, what we're trying to do is to get stickers for our retailers.
So they have an official designated Loto sticker.
We also have a strategy to improve upon our draw situation with multiple draws. One thing I do know is for many of these illegals, multiple draws can also heavily affect them. Why? Because with the manual system, they have 24 hours to collect all these papers across to go and do their account. But if I have a draw in the morning, a draw in the afternoon,
you confuse them.
A draw in the evening.
I see.
So that's what we're trying to do from the month of May.
Point of question: did you say Ghana makes $700,000 to $800,000, or 70 to 80,000?
A day. I'm talking a day.
So
70.
A day.
A day.
So it's 60 to 70.
60 to 70.
A day.
And the Nigerians make $3.2 million a day.
Yes.
And the Ivorians make $1.7
million a day. But the Ivorians learned the lottery from us. They actually started this 5 of 19 in 2012. And again, let me also pay glowing tribute to them. They gave the NLA when I came and I approached them on this good causes thing. Because when I visited Abidjan and they took me to Yamoussoukro, to Boaké, and many parts of the country, almost every community, you could see something funded
by the lottery.
So that was where I also got the inspiration of the good causes. Then made a case to the board for us to establish it. And they provided us with the seed money of $60,000 to set up the...
I think one question people want to ask is, so being a party leader, communications, deputy communications, youth organizer, national organizer, is a leadership role. But coming to a state organization over 60 years old, with people who are older than your father there, and then in 18 months...
Some of them were, when I was in Pampers, they were there.
Good. And you are trying to reform it.
Yeah.
How different is that experience in leadership from mobilizing people to support a political party?
I think this one, it also takes a whole new dimension. Why? Because if you take a straight political sense there, you will make a mistake. You're managing people from different arena. And the focus and the vision should be clear. You should distinguish between what you want to do politically and what you want to do economically. And I also believe that leadership too is everything. And by the depth of what you are espousing and the clarity of thought. You don't have to rub it in the face that you are their boss. They already know you are their boss. But once you need the support from them, without the management giving you the support and you carrying the staff along, you'll just be wasting your time.
A few questions have come for you.
So I set out to, the first thing I sought to do was to get management to rally around me, because they are going to help you lead the implementation of policies. And then also to get the staff to also change the attitude. When I got there, I realized that they used to come to work late. Some around 9:30, some even come at 10. They will sit idle. By midday, they go for lunch, they don't come back. So I decided to get to work at 6:30 every day. And
so when they come, you are sitting there?
I'm there. And at 8 a.m., I start visiting them in the office.
Check where they are.
And then when I come
somebody's going to buy beans.
Bernard's office, and where is Bernard? He says he's going. I said, no problem. When he comes, tell him DG wants to see him.
Okay.
And sometimes the psychological thing, and nobody really wants. When you come, I ask you to give me
are there people who try to say you are young and that I came here before you, so listen to me?
That one, you can insult me in your head. It's allowed.
But it's not in the work.
No, not at all. But gradually, they got used to the fact that DG there, you always come early. You don't know when he will visit your office. But I go in a very friendly note. So they said, some said that, politicians in the Ombas are 1 week on Beja.
IGG, initial gragra.
Then 1 month passed. The guy continued. 2 months, he continued. 3 months, don't say no. This
guy's your 18 months.
So it's been like that.
The other question
I'm always one of the early birds to get to work.
The other question for you is, again, from a high-profile political position, it is easy to see if you could have been given a higher political appointment, all right? Because we've seen people with lesser rank in parties transition to deputy minister or even full minister. I suspect the NLA. I mean, if you ask anybody in politics what role you want, not many people say they want to be NLA boss. You understand? So it seemed like what is happening at NLA? What's NLA like? It's not like Free Zones Board or something.
It's like when Nana Kumia wanted to go to STC.
Yeah.
What do you really understand?
What is STC?
Akumia? But I think Akumia was one of the star performers that you guys even said, look, I transformed the place.
Yes.
If you go to a place already made up, you might pass with the wind. But today you said, but since I'm here going to NLA, you have many of the tabloids always following the NLA, even in front of graphic, on the front page of the graphic today and all that. And then government will say, last week he was everywhere. You have to make an impact. And if you're not at the top, you won't be a topic. Definitely. I believe that together with my team, and we've done what we can. And the greatest gratitude goes to the staff and our stakeholders in the industry.
They support you?
They do. The staff, they find in me a sympathetic ally and a trusted companion, which is key. Because I open up. Many of the things that I implemented were things that I was told by junior staff. DG, take a look at this place, DG here. And sometimes I get to the office early, 6:37, you have some of them waiting for me at the car park because they don't want their boss.
They want to give you some filler quickly.
So, and it led me to many revelations, which helped shape.
So in terms of your understanding of the Ghanaians' mentality and how they work, it's a completely different experience from leading people as youth organizer or national organizer.
I think so. I think so.
Wow.
Here, you can have organized detractors within the civil service and the public service structure. But at the political party level, we all believe that we have to support.
So everybody's in line.
Yes.
So you don't face the level of opposition you face.
There at the public service level, what the smile on a person's face might contradict the thought of the person. So I always move beyond the veil.
Interesting. I'll read a few questions. I mean, this is an interview that is supposed to focus on some of the things you said yesterday.
Yes.
But I'm taking liberty to read some questions.
Okay, that's fine.
Tell the NLA to keep their machine in a museum. It was a part of our childhood. So Sam from Abuja says, don't throw that machine away. Hi, Bernard. Just last Friday, I staked 2 sure with 5 CDs and I won 1,200 CDs. which I used to pay part of my school fees. But the normal account was credited a day after. For a minute, I thought the money would not come. Enoch Morris.
So you see,
Okay.
we introduced this small wins payment, and I think
Small wins
I
payment.
inherited a huge challenge, a backlog of about 15 million cedis worth of unpaid wins.
Hey,
But gradually,
50 million.
1.5.
Okay.
But gradually, we've cleared about half, and we're still being competitive, paying.
And is it Momo to pay?
Yeah.
So-
On that, I just wanted to ask.
Yeah.
So for these, so when you inherited that amount, did you have like corresponding numbers, details to which you could pay?
And yes,
So
every
legitimate
amount you play
Okay.
goes with
Okay.
the win ratio.
Okay.
If you play 5 cedis, that's why the guy said you 1,000.
No, I'm just saying. So for
So
I'm just
10
saying.
cedis, you're going to get 2
Okay.
for.
So for the 15 million, so which means you had correct details.
Well,
of
legitimate
the-
wins, that's what I'm
legitimate
saying.
wins. Yeah, I just wanted to
It's
find
an
out.
accumulation.
Okay.
Of what he of his 1,000 to somebody's.
So it's not only
2,400,
Thor that has
somebody's-
debt. NLA too has
No,
debt.
but even ECG.
ECG.
Yeah, that's why Charlie now.
So yours is 15 million, which you've cleared half.
See, we've done
As for
half.
just unpaid ones, then you also have other instances of suppliers and all.
Have you
that.
paid your light? Have you paid your light bill?
Yes, we have. When I was on leave actually, I resumed just yesterday, and when my finance director said ECJ people came there, and I said, even their mother ministry, they went to disconnect.
Charlie, what's up?
What about revenue generating body? I said, Charlie Paddy, go look for money because I don't want to be in the news.
All right, ask him why is it that if you play it on your phone, people gain access to your number and begin to send you unnecessary messages? Does that mean you do not protect our data?
So basically, if you play on your phone,
Yeah.
you are playing with an online partner.
Okay.
And they definitely need that your data to also help you to continue playing.
They will start sending you messages, baby.
So
that's KGL.
yes, that's KGL. So it's basically not just. We also do have other collaborators with us who are not playing our 590 game.
Okay.
We have a global fund. We have Zeta Technology. You have LACWeb. And
Another one.
Just Nigeria.
Bernard, please ask Sammi about Simnet, a subsidiary of the Lottery Authority whose staff are complaining of non-payment of salaries. He should throw more light on the relationship the authority has with Simnet Ghana. This person hasn't added their name.
Well, Samnet is one of our technical service providers. So we play our games on 3 main platforms. Samnet, Lot, and that's of Blue Star High Tech. And I must admit, they've had some challenges to partly also contributing to it too is NLA's indebtedness to them and also some few technical challenges. But once they are stake, we continue to engage them. We've been paying in phases. Almost every month we do pay something, but we're looking forward to giving them some good support to also get them right. Same as Lot.
Okay, this question came from Sebastian Simon of Graphic. Another question. This is not a question. This is a statement.
And Simnet too is partly owned by SNET.
Oh,
Yeah.
wow. Somebody called Eric says I should tell you that they should send you to Lands Department. They need you there.
Charlie, that plays 2 things. Either witchcraft or juju.
You know, I said this thing on air last week, and they were blaming me. So let me ask you. It means that in government there are tough positions where if you go, you know that the place is hard. Like the staff don't want to change. The culture there is difficult.
I think it's also a reflection on what you do as a leader.
Okay.
If I got there and I wanted to be the boss,
Okay.
and you get to work 11, management members will come at 10:30.
And wait for
you.
you.
Knowing you get there at 11.
Okay.
But if I get there at 6:30, later 7 a.m., I'm always at work.
Okay.
And I come around to check up on you. Normally 8:30, I go to check on managers. But for staff, 8:15.
Okay.
I walk through the offices, and it helps me to also see some of the petty things that they want done. You can get to an office, the place is warm. What's happening? DJ, our AC has been off for this number. Oh, really?
So small things like this.
Take a phone.
So sometimes systems, DG has to come and solve all those. Systems are not in place.
Sometimes it's quite
Okay.
worrisome.
I have finished the NLA interview, but I have 2 personal questions for you. The first one, a lot of people want me to ask you, is about your own political plans. Right? You already spoke about your life in politics, national organizer, and then came into a public position. Are you going to parliament?
Well, I saw yesterday I was supposed to be at the National Council meeting of the party. I'm a member of the council. Unfortunately, these media engagements did not. But I've seen the party's timetable, which is out.
February.
For February next. But they're open nominations somewhere November or so. I'll have to start deep consultations with stakeholders.
But is it fair to say there's the indication that people want you to do it?
There's huge and considerable level of support from the Kropon constituency, or somebody who's a Kwapem North municipality, from the chiefs and the people there, and that's of my own party supporters. As I said, I have a sitting MP there, so I need to do some consultation, and even that of the MP, I'll have to.
But that's where you are from.
That's where I'm from.
And that's where the pressure is coming from.
Huge pressure.
That you should go to Parliament.
Huge pressure. But I'll once again repeat, once nominations open, I'll start some consultations ahead of November. If that works.
And the other point, finally, is you are a political operator. Is it possible that as elections draw near, you may be recruited to do more support of the campaign? And therefore, you may have to sacrifice this 18 months because you are fully working at NLA and you seem to be doing well. But again, I'm speaking from an MPP perspective now, there could be a bigger challenge of the party saying that they want to win an election. You're a former national youth organizer, current former national organizer, former communicator, and that your political skills may be needed more than your managerial skills. I'm sure that pressure is also there.
It is. And it's almost on daily basis. I've had discussions with key leaders in government, very key leaders in government, and key leaders at the party level, that I'll be supporting the party's mobilization drive ahead of elections. You see, every election is a new election, and no two elections are the same. Even when it's a runoff, it's not a top-up election, because they will start the counting from 1, 2, 3, 4. I think the NPP in 2024 must concentrate more on regaining our lost parliamentary seat. There will be a battle at the parliamentary level. You win the parliamentary vote, you win. It goes hand in hand with the presidential. And the NPP will have to also play tact. And I am convinced that will be the NDC true strategy.
I see. Maybe we'll do a different question on politics.
And then again, I also believe one of the things that we have to also help trumpet is the fact that globally governments are going through tough times. And very few governments survived in 2020, if you check. I mean, very few, because of the impact of the pandemic and all. That notwithstanding, we also have a role to play as a party and government. So yes, you are right.
You seem very geared up for the election.
And then
because you even change your posture in the interview. You know, when I was asking about NLA, you were sitting down. So when I said politics, no, then you changed.
Because you unsettled me.
No. I've finished the NLA interview.
I'm also expected to also. If the vice president who decides to contest, I will support him.
So it means there's pressure from the party, there's pressure from the vice president's side.
Not pressure from him. He hasn't told me.
Okay, not pressure. The likelihood, the possibility.
I'm a big fan of him.
So,
and then if my services.
So if he needs you in his campaign, you will have to go. If the party needs you in the national campaign, you have to go.
Then I have to have a conversation with my employer. That's the president of the republic, because I serve on his behalf at the end. If I'll be able to combine, I'll have a discussion with him.
Wow. It means watch this space.
The space is already being watched.
Sammi, thank you for joining us.
The city is refreshing.
Fantastic. It's a relevant radio all the time. Sammi is the DJ of the NLA, and we need to say that they came in here to talk about some of their activities, including the
biggest colony of mafia.
including.